back in a tailgate downtown. Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's good to be back in a tailgate downtown. Yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's good to be back in a tailgate downtown. It's good to be back in a tailgate downtown.
Welcome to another wonderful edition of Tailgate TV. Brad laughs, but they all are wonderful. Every one of them.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's your special sound, but we'll go with it for now. We have a special guest, Brayden Chandler, Rich Hill athlete. And when I say athlete, man, he does do multiple sports, does a lot down there. This year really helped the basketball team. He was first team all-conference in the WeMo Conference. He was all-district in basketball this year. He's a runner, a track star, a future Ozark Ambassador, which is why Brad requested that I wear my Ozark shirt today. He picked out the color and everything. He's our new wardrobe guy. But we're glad to have Brayden Chandler here on the show. Glad to have you.
Yep.
So, as Cody just mentioned, basketball, track, that kind of thing. But I like to go back. When did sports start for you? When did you kind of take an interest in it and get involved?
I'd say probably young age.
Okay.
I'd say right when we were able to play basketball.
Okay.
5, I probably started.
Awesome.
I started off here in Butler.
Okay.
Little league. I think Randy Rader was the coach.
Sure.
And then like second grade, I moved over to Rich Hill for basketball.
Gotcha.
And then ever since then, I've been over there.
So you kind of started out in basketball. That was kind of your initial jump into sports was basketball. Did you play any other sports like when you were younger? Baseball, football?
About everything.
Yeah.
I played football all the way up to freshman year.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then soccer, baseball, all that.
Okay. Well, good. That's awesome. And I think playing those sports, obviously, and again, we're a small town, but in small towns, obviously, the more athletes you can get out to play multiple sports, the better you are.
Yeah.
But just playing multiple sports helps you to be a better athlete yourself and understanding, because you use different muscles to play basketball than you do football or you do baseball. But once you can get all those things going in the right direction, it certainly helps. So that's awesome. I'm glad you did that.
And basketball it's a great sport. What's your, you've been doing it for a long time. What's your favorite thing? Like when you get on the basketball court, like what's your favorite thing about playing basketball?
I'd say probably the fans. I mean, that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
The more fans you got, the more kind of nervous I get anyway. But
big energy guy, feed off the energy of the crowd.
Yeah.
Well, and let me say, we were down there, 2 years ago, I believe.
Oh, the Archie.
For the Archie, was the last game.
Yeah, I think it was for the conference championship.
That's what it was. And
that was a big energy game.
Yeah, that place was, you could feel it. I mean, there was energy all around. It was a great opportunity to watch a football or a basketball game, and really, again, I didn't have a dog in the fight, right? I
did. I was pulling for Rich Hill.
Well, I understand, but I'm saying I knew guys from Rich Hill. I know the kids from Archie. Obviously, we played both of them throughout the years. But that was one of those games, you didn't have to know anybody to get excited about that ball game. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think our fans, including Archie fans, knew that the winner of that game was going to win conference.
Sure.
I think that's what pulled all of our high school, like the other kids outside of basketball in our school that came to the game.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You guys packed that game.
Yeah.
And we came, I think, we didn't have any reason to go to that game, but we both kind of circled that in the calendar when we figured that out, and we're like, we're going to go. We didn't have a Butler game that night because we were prep casting Butler back then. We didn't have a Butler game. Let's go watch Rich Hill tonight, and it didn't disappoint. How did Playton in that? You remember that game? I mean, how did Playton in that one feel?
It felt awesome. I know the start of it was chippy.
Oh yeah, the whole thing kind of carried chippy.
After all that had happened, it all kind of died down, but not much. But it was still high energy the entire game.
Well, and you guys got a pretty comfortable lead, and that's when a lot of it died down. Because I think if I remember right, it was a 20-point victory or something for you guys going into it. We thought it was going to be a 2-3 point game.
Well,
both of you guys were having a great season at that point.
But back and forth for sure.
Yeah. So that kind of leads, I guess, we're talking about memories here. What's your favorite memory on the court?
There's a lot. I'd say my own would probably be my 1,000-point game this year for Drexel. But as a team would probably be our district championship sophomore year.
Okay.
Just because that was our first one in a while, like a few years. And I mean, I've been a part of the last like 5-6 district championships we've had, like either playing or watching. So,
Nice. Who'd you beat that game? Do you remember?
I think we beat Hume. We played over at Hume that year.
Okay, and that's probably a little bit of a rivalry game.
Yeah.
I know you guys, share some players here and there with different sports and, do some stuff together. Probably know each other pretty well, so that's probably a pretty intense game.
Well, and I was going to say, those things usually lead to the best rivalries, right? Because I know, between Butler and Adrian, the big rivalry and so forth, and a lot of the Butler kids and a lot of the Adrian kids, they all hang out, and they're after games. Adrian comes down here or whatever, and you see that. And I know when my kids were in school, you'd ask them a question about, I don't know, blah blah blah, kid from Adrian. They're like, oh yeah, he's over here, and we saw him the other day, and so. But especially when Hume comes over for football. Baseball, I think some of the Rich Hill kids so that's pretty fun.
And then summertime, I play with Morrison's. Their dad teaches, or not teaches, but he coaches our team.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So
that's a good group.
Oh yeah, and they had a good group. Not to get off topic, but they had a good girls basketball team this year too. Hume was pretty salty.
Yes, they
in
did.
that.
Yeah.
Talking about the dome down there in Rich Hill, obviously, we went to that ball game, and that was again. What a great facility that is, by the way, and you're a lucky young man that was able to be built and for you to play in and that kind of thing. Do you think? Do you all have? I know there are some colleges, right, that have these certain venues they play in, whether it's the Coliseum at USC or whether it's at Notre Dame or wherever, and they feel like their home field gives them an advantage. Do you feel like that down there, Rich Hill?
I feel like some certain games, yes. Like big, and then there's big games there. I think we do. I think I feel it.
Yeah, I again getting back on that one game that we were able to attend. It was again electric down there, and I really liked it. So obviously that's your favorite place to play basketball.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
What is another place that you play at that you really enjoy, you really like, or I don't care. Tell me one that you hate playing at because they're so good and it's so tough to win.
Can I tell you one I hate playing at?
No, you cannot.
I'd say the one I've only played in it once. It was down at Willard.
Okay.
It was our sectional game last year.
Okay.
I think that place is probably the biggest. Not only biggest, my favorite to play at.
Okay.
But it was a lot of seats.
Okay.
A lot more of our fans came down for it.
Awesome.
Then the one I hate, I'd probably say Hume.
Really?
It's just small.
Right.
Bleachers are on one side, and it's really hot in there.
Yeah.
Those hot ones, those are the ones that you're.
Yeah.
Again, the Boston Celtics back in the 80s, they did not have air conditioning in the Boston Garden, and so when the finals were there, obviously you're getting into what, April or May, June, right in there for the finals. Whoo, it would get hot, and you would think, well, it's Boston, it can't get that hot. Well, you pack a couple 10,000 people in a building like that, it's going to get warm.
Back when you were playing, none of them had air conditioning.
Well, right, we didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah,
right. It was just a thing.
Yeah,
you had to run fast like this young man does to get some get some wind on you.
So, do you want to know the place I hate? It starts with the same letter as the one he liked.
Well, have you played there?
No.
Oh, so it don't matter.
So, you guys have had a pretty good year this year in basketball. You finished 22-5, and those 5 losses were all against really good teams. 2 of them overtime losses.
Yeah.
Overtime loss against Adrian, overtime loss against Butler. So you right there in them in those games, and I think I lost to Harrisonville and I lost to Wablo in the postseason. Mm-hmm. 22-5, and those 5 losses were all pretty still impressive outings.
Yeah.
What do you think really helped propel y'all to success this year?
I'd say probably our work ethic. Our coach this year really pushed us because he wanted to improve. It's really hard to improve on a good year from last year, going 21-8. But he really wanted us to improve a lot more from there to this season, which I think everyone took a big step in it. And I'd say that.
Well, and talk about that Wablo Ball Club.
They're They're a pretty good team. Defensively, they're really good.
Yeah, they were impressive.
We got to see them early on, ran into them at Warsaw, and they
Ran through us.
Yeah, met them in the Warsaw Championship, and Butler had a pretty good outing the first 2 games, and then went to Wablo, and I think Wablo 25-point.
I don't remember. Yeah, it was impressive.
I think they beat us by just under 30.
Yeah,
which we were. I mean, losing by 28 wasn't bad because we were down 32 at half.
Yeah,
it was like 49-15, which we were down 22-0 in like 4 minutes.
Wow.
I mean, we
doesn't take
out,
them long to score.
Yeah, they came out 2 quick buckets. We got like 3 quick turnovers. We didn't get a shot off in the first 2 minutes.
Wow.
I mean, they were really keen on me, not letting me shoot a 3. They were leaving like certain people open, and then they were just hitting shots.
Yeah, and that's, going into that game, talking about that Wablo game a little bit, watched that game, watched it on the Rich Hill Prepcast. Rich Hill Tigers Network does a great job down there.
Yeah.
But kind of, they had a game before that. I forget who they were playing, but they were held to like 20 points. It was a low-scoring game. And the other team,
I think they still won that game.
Yeah, no, they won. It was postseason.
But it was low. Yeah, it was like 30 or something.
Yeah, it was like 20-18 or something.
It was
something crazy.
30-22 at the end.
30-22.
Yeah.
I
mean, Osceola, they were just getting the ball.
That's who it was.
Half court. They were passing the ball back and forth.
Yeah.
Wablo would trap them in the corners, and then I think what really lost Osceola the game, they could have won it, I think, but they missed quite a bit of layups.
Yeah.
They were missing
stinks.
close shots and free throws.
Yeah, that stinks.
Well, and I was going to say, Osceola was able to slow them down, but when you guys played them, y'all were a fast-paced team.
Yeah.
You guys did a lot of the same things Wablo did.
Yeah.
So then, for you guys, it wasn't really a strategy to go in and slow them down because you want to get out and run. Because obviously you have you and some other guards there that are, and even your bigs, Dylan and them, they're pretty quick.
Yeah.
And so you have a quick team, and so you just got out there and then just, the Wablo team's a different kind of fast, though.
Yeah.
They're pretty impressive. And again, even though you lost to those guys, those are the kind of games, not only you talk about your coach pushing you, it makes you all, push yourselves to say, okay, we can get better, we can be better. Just kind of too bad you lost them when you did, at the end of the year. But wait, you also run track, right?
Yeah.
So what got you interested in track?
Well, I skipped out on track my freshman year because the whole running thing didn't seem fun at all. I hated running during basketball conditioning, so I didn't want to do it. And then sophomore year came around, and I had gotten talked into it by our coach Damon Green, and then a bunch of my other friends.
Gotcha.
So then I decided to do it. And then after that year went by, I was just like pretty good at the mile and 2 mile. Wow. That's what we lacked.
Right.
So I just kind of stick with it after that.
Well, that's awesome.
And ended up being pretty good at it.
Yeah.
You had a PR yesterday. I heard of the 1600. Ranked top 10 at the 1600 and 3200. You're also on the 4x8 team at Rich Hill, which is, I think, number 6 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
8th in the state at your 3200. I mean, something that you've really, I guess, honed in on and gotten good at.
Yeah.
So, wow. So going into postseason in track now, what are you looking forward to as that season's wrapping up?
Well, I've had my mindset ever since like halfway through last year on a school record for the mile.
Okay.
I think it's like a 4:43. And I've been, like yesterday, I was really close to it. And
Yeah, were you like,
wow,
5 seconds off?
Yeah, I'd say Damon texted me before, and he was like, hey, he's like, you got real close to that score record yesterday.
Awesome.
Yeah. I've been trying to key in on that, and then also the 2 mile. I'm pretty far away from the school record for that. But, I mean, mile's going to be tough to get the state to anyway. Because, I mean, I've been in the state all 2 years so far.
Okay.
And they've been for the 4x8.
Right.
That was just it.
I see.
But.
Wow. That's a long way. That's a long way to run.
So when all this wraps up, when track, basketball's already wrapped up, when track wraps up, looking towards, you're a senior, so looking towards next year, going to go to Ozark, play some basketball out there. What really pushed that? So you'll be reuniting with McGall, who's out there from Rich Hill last year. Did that play a big part in your decision, or did you just like, hey, I want to go to, what kind of shaped your decision to go down to Joplin?
Well, the reuniting with McGall did kind of spark it. But, I mean, I went to a camp down there, which McGall helped on that same week. And, I mean, I liked it. I fell in love with the school. The whole team's really nice. I went on a tour a few weeks ago and got to play with them, which that kind of fielded as well. Coach Lamb and Harns, they're really nice people.
Oh, yeah.
Really good coaches.
Don't say too many good things about them. But,
yeah. Well, yeah, and we've had him on the show, obviously, Same time we had McGall, and they nice talking to him. You could tell he knows basketball, and you'll learn a lot from him, which is obviously the most important thing. Plus, get your education, which is obviously the most important thing. And as you move on into your adult stuff, but so we've talked basketball, we've talked track. What else do you do? What else do you like?
I mean, video games. I like video games.
Okay.
But I mean,
anyone in particular that's your favorite right now?
Right now, probably 2K or Madden.
Okay.
Okay. Probably those two.
I was expecting more of like Call of Duty or something, but okay.
Who do you play with in 2K? Who's your team?
I'm a big Warriors guy. Steph Curry's my favorite player.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'll play with about any team.
Yeah. But that's okay. So that's who you're picking. You're going to
like
jack
it.
up the 3 all the time.
I like it.
Yep.
Klay Thompson had another great year this year, but
What pretty outdoorsy guy too, aren't you? Big fisherman at least,
Yeah.
and you big. What's your favorite? What do you fit? You a big bass fisher, crappie fisher? What?
I
what
mean,
are you?
I fish quite a bit with the hammocks. I'm out there a lot because
Okay.
we live pretty close to them. So I mean, I'm fishing for anything pretty much.
Okay.
anything biting, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of him, another quick guy. You run into him sometimes some track meets. Saw the other day. I think y'all were like 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, right
I
close
think
to
it's
each
1
other.
and 4.
Okay.
I was with him for about 6 laps, and then he kind of left me.
He said, "All right, see you later, man."
Yeah, which I mean, I run whenever I'm out there. I've been trying to get there every weekend. I
Yeah.
run out there with him and all that. So,
He's
That's always
we
good.
saw him at a baseball game, I think, last year, and he got caught in a pickle between first and second, and I think he ran a mile
Trying to get out of it.
and he got out of it. I mean, his speed, and finally he made it in a spot that most people wouldn't make it. Another quick guy.
Very, yeah.
So we've talked a lot about your favorite things. What's your least favorite thing about basketball?
Ooh, good. That's a tough question sometimes, isn't it?
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously losing's there. I'd probably put losing. Losing is not my favorite thing.
No.
I love that answer. Every great athlete that we've had on the podcast, when we've asked them, what drives you or what do you not? Every one of them says, "I hate losing." I mean, that's what drives athletes to be good. Is,
Yeah.
you do that, you lose that once or twice, and you're like, I don't want to do that again. I'm going to work as hard as I can. I'm going to get in the gym and make sure I don't lose again. That's a great attitude to have.
It really is, because it's really, and this, but the off-season stuff, right? And those losses that you're talking about drive that off-season more than the coach is telling you to be there. And again, really good athletes, guys that really push themselves into being great athletes by getting in the gym and not only putting up shots, but getting in the weight room, doing all those things, the little things that you don't see make great athletes who they are.
And you may have hit on something right there, but so if you got underclassmen that are watching this right now, what kind of advice would you give to them? What advice would you give to other people on the team that are maybe looking to, I want to do what Brayden did, and I want to get 1,000 points, and I want to go play college somewhere? What would you tell them?
I'd say I'd probably just keep working hard. I mean, that's what I did. 'Cause, last year I was 6-man.
Yeah.
I started sophomore. I started like halfway through freshman year. I started the last half. All sophomore year I started. And then junior year, I got put into the 6-man spot because we had 5 all-around good players starting.
Yeah.
And then, that's what kind of led me to work hard. Just work hard after practice.
Mm-hmm. Put in the extra time, extra effort, and just do kind of the unseen stuff.
Yeah.
But then it gets seen when you get on the court.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's really important because that's a tough position to be a starter your freshman year, starter your sophomore year, and then be placed in a role that you're not familiar with, but boy, attitude is everything when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
And you just have to keep your mindset on, I'm helping the team where they need me and go forward. And that sounds like you had a great attitude. And obviously, it didn't hurt you points-wise, getting 1,000 points even after doing that. So that's outstanding. Yeah, good for you.
So we always end, I don't know if you've seen any of the podcasts, we always end with some fun questions.
Fun questions.
Fun ones.
Fun ones.
These are ones that Brad
I love
has.
Funyuns. Oh, that's
Funyuns
different thing. Sorry.
I want a bag of Funyuns right now.
I was going to say.
But we have some fun questions for you. Brad wrote all of these.
Wait, I've got something to say.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever had the Buc-ee's rings that they're like Funyuns? They're better than Funyuns. They are solid. Have you been to the Buc-ee's yet?
Well, now you
No.
just
In
lost our
Springfield?
Funyun sponsorship.
Well,
Funyun's
maybe
even gonna
Buc-ee's will
sponsor
jump
us
on
now.
board. Hello.
Speaking of, have
You
you
need to go to
had?
Buc-ee's. You'll
Are
love
you a
it.
big Sonic guy? Go to Sonic. Have you had their new French fries?
No, I have not.
They
New?
just got them 2, 3, 4 days ago,
Yeah, I was going to say this week.
and they're
Solid. So
they're
good.
good.
Crinkle fries.
Yeah.
As opposed to so good.
was
Yeah.
talking to Josh out at our Butler Sonic. Josh does a great job, and he said, "Man, we got some new French fries, so we're good because I didn't really like your other ones." And he said, nobody did, but we've got some new ones, and you're gonna like them." And sure enough,
They are good.
they're now you have a tough choice of whether you're gonna get tots or fries because
Yeah.
they're pretty good. Okay, so during his career,
Uh-oh.
Shaquille O'Neal
Oh, boy.
missed over or under 5,000 free throws.
Ooh, that's a lot of free throws.
Now you're talking about NBA career.
Yeah, his NBA career, his professional career, he missed over or under 5,000 free throws.
He wasn't a very good free throw shooter at all.
No, he was not.
I just don't know if he shot that many.
Oh, well, how about this? I'll give you. He shot 11,252.
Ooh, I'd say over. He missed over.
He did.
Okay.
He missed 5,317.
That's a lot of free throws.
That's a lot of free throws
Think about, and obviously he's not going to make all of those, right? But think about if he made half of those, how much more points he would have scored in his career. Again,
He
by
would have been the most
making a
dominant
shot
player.
that nobody is guarding you. Gee,
to miss. The average
That's sad.
NBA player.
Average.
This is true or false?
So like LeBron James, the average NBA player. Go ahead.
The average
That's
NBA
what I just
player
said.
weighs 195 pounds.
Ooh, I'm gonna say false because I feel like they weigh. I feel like the average is more.
What do you think? You're correct. That is false. The average is more. What do you want to guess the average is?
210,
So close.
So
215.
215.
Yeah.
Now, again, the Shaquille O'Neal question was weighted in that one, too, because he helped the scale go up. But go ahead.
Was weighted.
Yeah, that's what I
see
said.
what you did there.
That's
So
what-
punny. Which will go farther?
Uh-oh.
A baseball that's microwaved or a baseball that's frozen?
Ooh, probably a baseball that's microwave because the frozen one would probably get smashed.
That is correct. That's why in those slow pitch tournaments that some of us play in, you stick those softballs in the microwave and then you can actually hit them. Yeah. Okay, so we did some research. We always do some research. We try to dig up some information.
Digging them up.
We found your TikTok page,
Oh boy.
and that led to this next question.
Oh no.
If you were out fishing and you saw a fish,
And might
you-
lead to the next video. But go ahead.
would you rather drive your truck in the water after him or run in the water after him?
I'd say probably running after them.
It's cheaper.
You've done that.
Cheaper, right?
Yeah.
And the way he runs, it may be quicker.
Maybe that, too. Well, he does drive a Chevrolet, so yeah, might be. I'm saying that because he loves Chevrolet.
Best vehicle. Well, we appreciate having you on. A lot of fun. We're excited to see what you do. Excited to see what you do down at Ozark.
Yeah,
And
keep
how
us
you.
posted on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Been a pleasure to watch you the last couple of years out there playing and make it to some Rich Hill games and see what you've done. You've done well. So thanks for coming on, talking with us.
Yeah, I hope you make it to state and track, and hope you do well over there. That's a great time too. I mean, just going over there and being around a bunch of other people that enjoy the same sports you do, that's a lot of fun. I've been to a couple of those and watched them, and they're fun.
Would like to thank some sponsors.
Big time.
We have some new fancy cups. I don't know how well you can see those.
New bling.
But 03 Customs, who have always hooked us up with our beautiful hats, are now doing some
Tumblers.
They do everything.
They
but
do.
Product they're really pushing right now is tumblers, so I'd like to shout them out. Obviously, Sonic, their new fries, check them out. We'll always say the podcast sounds better with the drink in your hand.
Absolutely.
So make sure you go to Sonic and get you one. We also have, who else we got? Who am I forgetting,
Well,
Brad?
Mid-America Live, CNS Graphics, the Butler Chamber of Commerce, Emmanuel Baptist Church, and Prepcast. We want to thank everybody for sponsoring Tailgate TV. We want to thank Brayden for coming in here and enjoy talking to you. And stay tuned for another edition of Tailgate TV.